Well, Tom, here we are looking at the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare E3 2014 demo. It was the first thing they showed, wasn't it? At the E3 conference?
At the Microsoft concert.
It was a concert. It was a concert of
happiness and games.
And Phil Spencer's wardrobe changes. He changed his shirt a lot.
Yeah. Can I just say how glad I am that it was Phil Spencer and not Don Mattrick this year?
Don Mattrick.
Hey guys,
What is
Don
that guy
Mattrick.
doing these days?
Trying to sell fruit.
So here you have the trailer. Is it worth saying up front that I'm really sick of Call of Duty games?
I think that's just a given.
I'm sick of them showing single-player demos for a game that is largely...
People only play the multiplayer for.
Yeah.
Now, I thought this was pretty cool, though.
I thought what struck me was the graphics, because Call of Duty Ghosts on Xbox One did not look anywhere near as next-gen as this is looking.
No. This is really sort of got a Halo feel, or like an ODST feel, really.
Yeah.
And this section here just reminded me so much of the opening of the Battlefield 4 campaign.
Yeah, right. I know. That's pretty much what popped into my mind as well. Also, the fact that the graphics, it looks very similar to Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
The facial animation. What annoys me a little is that, I mean, they're clearly going more sci-fi in their sort of theme of this game.
Yes.
And they're phoning in a lot of the sci-fi stuff. Like, all the sci-fi stuff just reminds me of stuff I've seen in other games.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you said it is like a Halo, you know, orbital drop from ODST. And the jet boots they get later, it's pretty much Titanfall.
Yeah, well, I think we'll speak more about them at that stage. But, I mean, you know, this sort of, oh, come on, Marine, like, you know...
Oh, it wouldn't be a Call of Duty
everybody's sort
game
of-
unless you start a level crashing a fucking helicopter or something into the ground.
Yeah,
But
but
so cliched.
this bit I absolutely hate, because he's like, okay, Marine, like, you open the door. And that's such a convention in these bloody first-person shooter
That's
games.
what I
It's
hated
like,
in both the last Battlefield and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That all you did was just follow orders.
Yeah.
Even though in Battlefield you were the squad leader. All
Yeah.
you did was follow someone else's fucking orders.
Yeah. But this is kind of cool coming out of the pod thing.
The pod, yeah, whatever
The
you call
pod.
it. The Quinjet.
Yeah.
There we go.
And this next bit actually reminded me a bit of Left 4 Dead. You'll notice it in a second when they get around to it.
Really?
I
Was it
thought
all the
this-
zombies? Was it the hordes of zombies that you fired?
I thought this Battlescape was really interesting, but of course, you know, if it's anything like the last Call of Duty campaign, it's just going to be there in the background, and it's not going to be part of anything. But
It worries me that the direction Call of Duty is going in seems to be more and more like all the spoofs of Call of Duty. Just generic soldiers in this sort of pseudo-futuristic landscape just fighting the enemy,
yeah,
whoever that is.
Didn't that bit remind you a bit of Left 4 Dead, sort of going through
What?
the apartment blocks
On the
and stuff?
rooftop. Oh, Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah,
Ooh. Right, makes you think of Judge Dredd, the remake, to be honest.
yeah.
The reboot.
That bit's cool. Like, just I mean, it's completely kind of unnecessary, but I like it anyway.
Everyone got excited about some of this stuff. When I look at this trailer, I just see, okay, so far I've been playing this game for 5 minutes, haven't had to do anything.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah.
been button prompts and walking in a straight line and being told where to go.
Yeah. One thing we should definitely mention though is that there is no HUD in this game, which is a huge change for Call of Duty, and one
And
that
is
I
this
really
is this
like.
carrying over to the real game, or is this for the purposes of demo?
No, I believe it's carrying over to the real game.
See, that's pretty cool. And then,
Why do they always
and now
have
we're
those
seeing
ads
there-
on the sides
Yeah, I know.
of buildings?
We're seeing the exosuit, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is going to be a big part of it.
Yeah, I kind of wish, you know, with that minimal HUD, I kind of wish the gun would sort of drop down when you're walking a bit.
You know, if they added co-op to their campaigns, it'd do wonders at getting me excited for this
Yeah,
stuff.
well, it would make it 2 or 4 or 8 times better,
Yeah. Well, maybe.
possibly. But, you know, what's 2 times 0?
What is this, Tom, a maths
Okay,
podcast?
So this is one of the most annoying parts of this gameplay, because you come into this like fantastic big
Also,
world.
this bit, that's such a cheap game thing. Oh,
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. You know, it might as well be on the rails.
yeah. Wolfenstein did that as well. I hate it. Look, enforced trenches.
Yeah.
And also, it's a cheap design technique when it's like just wreckage. You look at it and there's some really defined stuff on the top, and you look at one layer down and it's just like a blurry mess.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
oh, wow.
dirt or something.
It's like a giant just took a dump
But
and then
hearing-
put some really nicely, you know, designed stuff on top of it.
Yeah, but here we've got the jet boots coming into play. You know, getting higher ground, and I think this is
I
going
think
to.
it's interesting if you look at. They've got quite a lot of bounce to them. Like in Titanfall and Destiny, which I've been playing a bit of, has a kind of gradual jet boot increase.
Yeah,
Whereas this, when you jump, it's like boing, it's more like kangaroo boots.
like springs on the bottom.
Yeah, it's
of
quite
your
a
feet.
sudden jump upwards, which I suppose could be cool. Now, this is so Gears of War, but I was on board with
Oh
this.
yeah, definitely. The krill from especially Gears 2.
Yeah, and it's also got a real Matrix vibe. You know, the
Sentinels.
Sentinels in
yeah,
Matrix, yeah.
definitely.
That does look really good. Graphically, like the movement on all of them, it looks really fluid and
Yeah.
nice.
And I think although riot shields have been pretty average in most Call of Duty games, I think ripping off a car door is pretty awesome. Although, you know, it's interesting that he has the strength to do that, but not rip off a guy's arm, as we'll see later on. This grenade system.
What you don't know, Tom, is that their arms are totally built. Like, they're really buff.
This grenade system, you know, I like those UAV type sensing grenades, but you sort of have to like select your grenades and then sort of switch over to which one you're going to use and then use them, you know, as opposed to most Call of Duty games where it's just one button through the grenade.
And this is kind of one of the problems I had with no, I can't remember whether it was Ghost or it might have been Black Ops 2, but they introduced these kind of guns that look really cool in
Yeah.
the context of the campaign.
Yeah,
But then they're either really overpowered in multiplayer
yeah,
or they're just not as effective in multiplayer.
yeah,
Or they have to nerf them so much so that you can use them in multiplayer, which makes them redundant because they were a really high concept weapon.
yeah.
Like
See,
the
here's,
thing-
here's them cycling the grenades, and it just looks. I mean, you know, obviously for the purposes of the demo, they've sort of slowed it down the action,
Yeah.
but yeah, it looks really annoying. And that shield like looks completely OP, but there were you know, there were a few sort of maybe weak points in that
Yeah.
could be exploited in multiplayer, but I don't think it's going to be something that's used.
If I play another Call of
Duty,
Duty game and someone beckons me over, I swear to God, there should be an option just to.
hand me the MacGuffin.
Oh no, I'm trapped.
Yeah, this is where it would be nice to be a Halo game, because that Spartan would just rip that open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Titanfall, you know, you'd just be like, "Pff, dude, why are you even just on the ground, man? Being a
Yeah.
freaking Titan.
Yeah, or at least like be up on the roof. with
This
a
is the
smart
moment when you
pistol.
lose a character that you don't care about.
And they've always got to make that bloody self-sacrifice. It's
Hey, look, Parker, you just go ahead and do it, man.
yeah,
You got a family, all right?
Look.
Just tell Marie that I loved her or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or that I didn't love her.
and there's the explosion,
There we
which
go.
was totally necessary because it's a Call of Duty game.
No, then not just the explosion. Then there's the bit where,
Getting up from the ground.
where everything's blurry and you
Yeah.
know you're stuck there, and oh no, I'm being surrounded by the antagonists.
Yeah, and all of this, of course, is cutscene, so you're not actually doing anything here.
Now, of course, I would accept all of this and forgive it if it meant I got badass RoboCop arms
Yeah,
for the majority of the game.
yeah, because that's, I mean, spoiler alert, that's what's just happening right now.
Yeah.
You're you're not getting the robo arms, but you're losing your human arm, which I thought was actually pretty cool. There it is.
Kind of cool, but
Bye bye.
again, for me, it's that thing that could have had more of an impact in the game if they didn't spoil it in the actual demo. But you know what? Who am I? Who am I to judge? All right,
Yeah.
I'm just a man. But
Yeah.
look, that was Call of Duty
But what a
Advanced
man.
Warfare.
What a man,
What
Ben.
a man.